going to have some quick comments and take some questions. My name is Nathan Nobel. I'm the president of Inuit Kanatami. We had a very productive meeting with the Prime Minister and the provinces and territories. We discussed things that were of importance to us as Inuit, and we talked about the way forward, especially in the next 6 months, towards fulfilling the obligations that Canada has under the Paris Agreement, but also in attacking and addressing climate change as a national priority. For Inuit, our primary focus today was to ensure that there's a broad understanding of how climate change affects Inuit, and the idea that we are not just affected, but we also are a part of the governance of Canada, in that 35% of our landmass and 50% of our coastline is co-managed through Inuit land claim agreements. Inuit have often been described as on the forefront of climate change and people who are first affected, but we're here to say that we're more than that. We're going to be participants on the path to a lower carbon economy and a future that ensures that our way of life, our environment, our wildlife is not affected in the way that it would be if we didn't.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Colonel Sharkshed, President of the Métis Nation, which is represented by the Métis National Council. I believe today was a good start in engagement with the federal government, the provinces, the territories, and with the representatives of the Indigenous peoples and nations within Canada. So I believe, as I say, a good start. The Métis Nation, of course, is primarily based in Western Canada and extends into the province of Ontario, part of the United States and the Northwest Territories. And we believe that the climate change issue, the clean energy, all of the issues dealing with the environment, must be dealt with. Certainly, we do have many traditional resource users out on the land, and we want to engage in a meaningful way, not simply as bid players in this whole process. So I believe as we move forward, we're going to engage fully and meaningfully, and we want to, as a nation, thank the Prime Minister for taking the step of inviting us to participate today with himself and with the Premier. So basically that's the statement that we want to make at this time.
Thanks, Nathan and Prem as well. My name is Perry Belvoir. I'm National Chief of the Assembly of First Nations. And some comments for myself. Again, everything's always a good start. Nothing's ever perfect. And this whole issue of climate change, and this meeting is a result of COP21. And everybody's starting to prepare for COP22. Am I wrong? And this is the first time ever that Indigenous peoples have been referenced in an international treaty, in an international agreement. That was in COP21. We're not part of NAFTA, we're not part of FIPA, we're not part of TPP, but we were referenced in this one. So it's a start. People are starting waking up that Indigenous peoples have rights, but more importantly, we have responsibilities to protect our land and water. And so this is the beginning of something where the point I made is nothing about us without us as Indigenous peoples. And we have so much to offer not only Canada but the world in terms of strategies, because Indigenous peoples and their elders know how to protect the land and water. And so we have so much to share, not only with Prime Minister Trudeau and the premiers, but the world as Indigenous peoples. We feel the effects of climate change first and foremost. And the things we pointed out, we can't even put winter, there's no more ice roads in the north because it's too warm. The warm winters, it affects the pine beetles, in northern BC. The permafrost is not being frozen, so it affects the water tables in the north. So we see all these things changing, the flash floods, all these things are happening because our mother is sick. And we are of one mother. And we have to start treating our mother, the earth, with care, love, and respect and kindness. making sure we start transitioning and moving away from our dependency on fossil fuels to clean energy strategy. And there's thousands of jobs as well in clean energy. And start moving towards First Nations controlled energy systems. Getting our people off diesel generated. Things that are in the community that hurt their people and the environment as well. And so this is the beginning. And this is a start. And we echoed our asks to the Prime Minister and the Premiers that whatever strategy is being developed going forward, that we need to be at the table as Indigenous peoples, representing the Indigenous nations and governments across Turtle Island. That was first and foremost. And we have so much to offer as Indigenous peoples. We talked about the need to refer to the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples as the blueprint forward, as the way to breathe and bring about reconciliation in this country and indeed the world. So those are the requests we made to the Prime Minister and the Premiers going forward. We can't be left out. We need to be at those tables in a full, meaningful, collaborative way. And it's really in the best interest not only of Canada, but the whole world, in balancing always the environment, the economy, always, but really the environment is something we're all part of, and we have to start making decisions that will affect 7 generations down the road. And so, from my perspective, Master Chief, it's a start, and we have a lot of work to do. So, I'll leave it at that, okay?